Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be making my southern sweet style cornbread. I put honey in mine, and so this is all the ingredients, and I'll show you and then we'll go ahead and mix it up. So I have some organic whole milk. We're going to use about 2 cups of that, we'll see. I have about a whole stick of melted butter, but if you can see here, we also took some out to grease the pan. So you want to leave like about a half tablespoon, well 1.5 at least, just to grease the pan so the crust gets crispy. So that's about a whole stick melted. We have a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, 3/4 cup of cornmeal. You have to use high quality cornmeal for this. 1 cup of flour, about a cup of sugar. We have 1/3 cup of honey, and then we have about 2 teaspoons of baking powder and then a little bit of baking soda. So we're gonna mix the dry ingredients first in this pan that I have here, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so we had a little technical issue there, but I made the wet and dry ingredients, and I went ahead and mixed them up, and I have the butter heating up in my cast iron skillet right here. It looks like a lot of butter, and I know that it needs to be fried, but we'll see. This is what the recipe called for. I'm probably going to end up wiping out the pan just a little bit because I don't want it to be too moist on the outside. But anyway, I'll get back to you guys whenever I pour it in here. We're still waiting for it to heat up. So this is the consistency of the batter that you want. It's almost cakey. I wouldn't like leave any lumps in it or anything. Just like make sure it's pretty smooth like that. I'm sure that if I like use a hand mixer or something like that, it could be more smooth, but I like to do things the old-fashioned way. This is almost heated up, and it's looking good, so I'm probably about to pour this in a minute, and I will come back in a minute. I went ahead and poured it in, and now I'm just smoothing it out. I need some light in here. There we go. Some of the butter came to the top, but that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. I'm actually going to make some honey butter for this recipe as well, so I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to make that. Still waiting for the butter to soften just a little bit. I went ahead and I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit just to fry that crust. Once I believe that the crust is fried, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the oven to 350 degrees. And once I believe that the crust is fried, we'll go ahead and we'll put it in there. I'm probably going to go ahead and get the kitchen cleaned up, and I'll get back to you. You know the crust is starting to fry whenever you see these bubbles. That means that it's cooking from underneath it. So I'm probably going to go ahead and turn this heat off just because I don't want it to burn while I'm cleaning. It already smells like it's crisped up. So I'm going to take it off the heat and just wait a second, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven. Hey guys, so the oven is still preheating for the cornbread. So while it's preheating, I figured I'd go ahead and show you how to make my honey butter. So this is about a 1/3 cup of honey right here, and I have some salted butter. And this is a whole stick, of course. I'm going to go ahead and put the butter and the honey in here, and I'll show you how I mix it up. So I went ahead and got the butter and the honey in here, and I'm basically just going to go like that and just mix it up until it's all incorporated and whipped, and then I can actually like start stirring it. Yeah, I'm sure I could use a hand mixer for this, and that'd be cool and all, but I'd rather just do this really quickly. So I'll get back when this is sort of whipped up, and I'll show you how I stir it from there. Alright, so you see how it's getting sort of creamy. This is when we can start just whipping it up and stirring it. It's hard for me to hold the camera and do it at the same time, but I'm just showing you how to do it. Just stir the bowl, whip it around. Once it's like extra fluffy, that's when it's done. We're actually going to add just like a tad bit of cinnamon and sugar to this, so I'll show you how much we add of that in a minute. So So this is what it should look like in the end, just very fluffy and brought together. So what I'm gonna do is just add a dash of cinnamon and a dash of sugar. You don't wanna add a lot, just a little bit just to bring the flavors together, and it will kind of taste like Texas Roadhouse butter. This would be so good over some rolls. We're probably definitely gonna have some leftover because I doubt me and my husband will go through a whole stick of butter. So I'm probably just gonna put it in the fridge. It can keep just as long as regular butter would. You know, honey doesn't go bad. So just try to keep it covered in your fridge and it'll last a while, and it's so good. I didn't want to give y'all the wrong impression that I used a lot of honey, cinnamon and sugar. So this is just how much I use, just a dash of each. So I'm gonna go ahead and whip that up and I'll show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like, just very fluffy and a very creamy consistency, no lumps, and that's how it should be. I went ahead and I put the cornbread into the oven at 350 degrees. It's already preheated, so I will update you guys whenever that's done, and we will cut a piece and slather some of that honey butter on top. So I wanted to show y'all, I have this huge pot of potatoes, and there's only like maybe 6 potatoes, I guess. And they're pretty big, but I just like this big pot for mashing in, and this is also my stock pot to make stock. Occasionally I like to make my own chicken stock, so I just wanted to show y'all because I thought it was funny using this big pot for all these potatoes. And I'm probably going to share my potato recipe with y'all in this same video real quick while we're waiting for the cornbread and everything. Hey guys, so the cornbread is done. I went ahead and cut 2 pieces. It's a little messy, but that's how cornbread should be. That's the crust. It's so perfect and cakey, and I can't wait to slather this honey butter all over. Is what it looks like at the very end. So crisp.